We must go now.
Papa!
Tiago, go with your mother to the trap. Take this. It will always be your guide.
Yes, Papa.
We will join you shortly.
Xavier, the painting.
La maledicción. This way.
Senora, it is too late. Go!
No! Papa!
Senor, in here.
Search them. Of course. Paris in the spring. Passion, romance, l'amour. I was working in art insurance. It paid the rent, just about. And then, by chance, I met Nico at a private view.
You didn't tell me that you were back in Paris, George?
We should catch up. Let's have lunch.
Nobody move!
Non, monsieur, not la malédiction. Oh.
Stay back.
Once again, Paris had shown me her dark side. A brutal robbery, a senseless murder. Nico and I were about to be drawn into a new and terrifying adventure together. The gallery owner was dead. I guess sometimes playing the hero doesn't pay. My company had insured the exhibition, so I had a crime to solve. The cops would be here soon. I didn't have much time. Just $90,000 for this one. This was where the stolen painting had hung. Why that painting? And why kill for it? The stolen painting had an alarm, which should have sounded when the painting was removed. I needed to find out why it hadn't. It was a small door. I guessed the alarm circuit. It was the speaker cone for the alarm. It hadn't sounded when the painting was stolen. Looked fine to me. That wasn't the reason the alarm didn't go off. It was a small red button. So, the alarm wasn't broken. I suspected foul play. It was a vibration detector pad. I pressed the vibration detector pad. Nothing happened. It was the speaker cone for the alarm. So that was why the alarm hadn't sounded. A wire had been cut by someone who knew exactly what they were doing. This was an inside job. The door was marked private. The door was locked with a keypad. The wires from the camera ran into the room behind. It must have captured the whole robbery. If I could get the code to the keypad, I might be able to shed some light on the crime. The priest was giving last rites to the gallery owner. I didn't want to interfere. Poor guy. Excuse me, Father.
Yes, my son.
I'm George Stobart. My company insured the exhibition.
My name is Simeon.
Is there anything I can do?
You can pray for his soul.
A senseless murder.
On the contrary, this killing makes plenty of sense.
What do you mean?
A great evil has taken place. This is the work of the devil.
What?
I am a Dominican priest. I know these things. And now, excuse me, I must pray.
1 minute, I'd been planning dinner with Nico. The next, I was talking art theft, murder, and the devil with a priest. In Henri's pocket was a tiny bottle. It was a bottle of Brett. The label claimed it would wake the beast within. Poor guy. Poor guy. There was a small piece of paper in the dead man's hand. It was too intriguing not to take a look. It read, 2:30 p.m., be ready. Innocent enough, until I realized that the robbery took place at 2:30 p.m. There was something fishy going on around here, and it wasn't just the canapes. I quickly replaced the note. I always wondered who bought those white-framed glasses. Now I knew. He definitely looked better. I put the glasses back where they were. Best to leave the evidence the way I found it. There was no way anyone would have survived that. I didn't want Henri's blood on my hands. A cryptic note in a bottle of overpowering cologne. No personal effects or anything else of substance. I definitely needed to check out that office. The bust was balanced precariously on the pedestal. I didn't want to knock it off. That bust was pretty impressive. I wondered who'd been the model. It was Hector Lane, France's greatest art critic. We'd met before. It hadn't ended well. For a moment, I thought he was dead, but from the snoring, I guessed he'd only fainted. Lane had fainted. Lane was out cold. I was going to need something to bring him. Time to awaken the beast. What?
What was that? It smells like the 70s. Where am I?
You fainted. The nail clippers were monogrammed with the letters H.L. Hector Lane. They must have fallen out of his pocket. Welcome back to the land of the living.
I wouldn't exactly call this living. Don't just stand there. Get me something to eat. I've had a terrible shock, you know.
Excuse me, Mr. Lane.
Food. My nerves demand food.
Lane had the kind of looks that only a lifetime of fine dining can. Father?
Yes, my...
What did you mean when you said that a great evil had taken place?
Your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour.
What?
Peter 5:8.
Did Henri say anything before he died?
He said, "Stop the car, I want to get in."
What does that mean?
We may never know.
What brought you to the exhibition, Father?
The painting.
Which one?
La Maledictio.
The painting that was stolen.
I had to confront the evil.
I think there's something strange going on here.
Yes, Mr. Stobart.
No, Father. I mean that the robbery looks like
The devil's work is always an inside job.
a wire in the painting's alarm was deliberately cut.
Cut by the devil himself, perhaps.
Well, as far as I know, sightings of guys with horns and tails have been a little down recently.
You mock me, Mr. Stobart. But as you will discover, the devil likes to have the last laugh.
Do you know the code to get in?
No, but you could always...
With respect, Father, I'm looking for a slightly quicker solution. What do you know about the man who painted La Maledictio?
El Serp. He was a man playing with fire. The fire of eternity.
Tell me about the stolen...
Whoever gets close to it will burn in hell.
Do you recognize...
Nail clippers?
Hey, Father, how about a squirt?
I think...
It was a blob of... Excuse me.
Food.
The thief left the pizza box behind. Well, no surprise there. Pizza. The guy must have been hungry. There was only one slice left. No one had noticed the pizza box fall onto the floor. I decided to leave it alone. Excuse me.
Food! My nerves demand.
I found a slice of pizza.
I asked for food, boy, not a cardboard simulacrum.
Oh, okay, if you don't want it.
I didn't say that. Now give it here. Given the circumstances, that was surprisingly acceptable. Now, what's been going on? Oh, Henri, is he
Dead? Afraid so.
poor chap? Just like him to steal the limelight.
Excuse me.
Do I know you?
Yes, our paths have crossed.
Of course, the man with the absinthe. I don't...
Afraid not.
Pity. I'm sorry, but...
I'm George Stobart.
I hope you have deep...
Could I ask you a few questions, Mr. Lane?
Fire away.
Did you know the gallery owner?
Of course, we worked together on the exhibition.
Oh, really?
Henri provided the space. I was the creative powerhouse.
How long had you known him?
As a friend, many years. Our professional relationship had only recently blossomed into this exhibition, under my curatorial wing. And now the poor fellow has gone and got himself killed.
If Lane was involved with the gallery, then he had to know the code to that door. Do you know anything about the stolen painting?
Of course, dear boy. La Malediccio, a little-known work, turned up at the last minute.
What about the killer? Were you able to get a look at him?
A delinquent in a tin hat. Beyond...
Oh, yeah.
Those of us with a higher aesthetic are more sensitive to violence.
So you curated the exhibition? What's it about?
A brilliant retrospective. A dialectical window on European art's ongoing discourse with the unresolved psychoses of the nation-state.
Wow, you took the words right out of my mouth. So, you help run this place? Maybe you can give me the code to that door.
The code to the office?
I just thought you might have the number.
I do, but I couldn't possibly give you access before the police arrive.
I figured I wasn't going to get the door code from Lane by playing nice. I needed to turn the heat up. Mr. Lane, you're really going to have to give me the code to that.
And why?
Because the way the cops will see it, you're the prime suspect. We both know you're innocent, Mr. Lane, but the cops, well, they may not see things so simply. I might be able to get them off your case, but in exchange, I'd like the code for the office door.
But that's preposterous. The police would have neither evidence nor motive.
Funny you should Someone sabotaged the alarm on the stolen painting.
What? Who could have got into the alarm?
Exactly. It was an inside job, Mr. Lane.
You're not suggesting that
Well, I'm afraid that's the way the cops are going to see it.
That's preposterous. How could I possibly have cut the wire?
Are these your nail clippers, Mr. Lane?
Yes, they have my initials monogrammed on them.
Huh. The perfect implement for cutting the alarm on the stolen painting.
What are you saying?
Well, the alarm was sabotaged, Mr. Lane. It was an inside job.
Are you accusing me? How dare you? I had no reason to kill Henri, no motive whatsoever.
Okay, but I don't think the cops will see it like that. And I sure would like that door code. An unusual painting turns up at your exhibition and gets stolen. Doesn't look good, does it?
And your point is?
The cops are going to ask some awkward questions. But you give me the code to the CCTV room, and I'll do my best to point them elsewhere.
I cannot let you into that. Besides, Henri found...
This is an inside... The police are going to be very interested in your recent...
I've been out of town for several days, and last night I retired early.
Just saying.
You're not going to scare me into giving you that door code, you know.
I was onto something here, and I knew it. Lane was sweating. It wasn't pretty. Spanish modernists certainly didn't come cheap. As they say, every artist was first an amateur. The cable for the camera ran into the room marked private. The cable for the camera ran in... The street was quiet and up. How about it, Mr. Lane?
Certainly.
Guilty?
I've been away from Paris for several days.
I wondered if there was anything out here I could use to put the heat on Lane. From out here, you couldn't see the stolen painting. This robbery was definitely planned. The room looked like some sort of office for the gallery. I could just see the glow of the CCTV monitor in the corner. You gotta hand it to the French. They know how to take a leak in style. I've always been a sucker for Parisian stained glass. Excuse me.
Monsieur?
There's just been a robbery at the gallery.
Oh, really?
You don't sound surprised.
All property is theft, monsieur. And all art is property. Therefore, all art is theft. Do you not agree?
Well, when you put it like that, it's hard not to. Did you see anybody run out of the gallery earlier?
There was a beautiful woman with a camera. She was chasing somebody.
Oh, that must have been Nico.
You know her? You surprised me.
Can you tell me anything about the man she was chasing?
I assume, monsieur, that like all of us, he is inherently unknowable.
No wonder this guy's cafe was empty. The gallery owner, Henri, was shot dead trying to stop the robbery.
Life has no meaning the moment you lose the illusion of being eternal.
Right. Did you know him well?
Can we ever truly know another human being, monsieur? He spent little time at the cafe, unlike his friend, Monsieur Lane.
What do you know about Le Lézard Bleu?
It's bourgeois, vacuous, and overpriced. Just like its curator Lane. He's always in here, you know, talking art to his latest flusée.
What do you know about Hector Lane?
Lane? Oh yes. He drinks here sometimes. He slid away last night without paying.
Last night? What sort of time?
After midnight, for sure. If you see him, give him this bill, and tell him to pay up next time.
The check was from last night, but Lane told me he was nowhere near the gallery. This could be the leverage I needed to get the office door code from Lane. Do you recognize these?
They are nail clippers.
Would you like a squirt of this?
Are you suggesting I smell, monsieur?
No, sorry. Thank you for your consistent indifference, monsieur.
Perhaps next time you come, I will give you a coffee. Perhaps not.
Hi, it's me again.
You assume.
Thank you for your time, monsieur. How about it, Mr. Lane? Ready?
Certainly not.
Guilty by way...
I...
Take a look at this.
What of it?
It's your bill from the cafe next door.
So?
It's dated yesterday. Last night, in fact. 12:30 to be exact. You said you were out of town. You sure drank a lot of champagne last night. Without paying. But you told me that you were away from Paris last night. I hate to say it, but that sounds like a lie to me. Tell you what, you give me the code of a motive and proof of involvement. Not looking...
You are a blackmailer, Stobart.
Just doing my job.
All right. You have me. The number is 6397. But I admit to none of these spurious accusations.
I had the code. The police would be here any moment, so I had to work fast. What was that number again? 642... No.
Everyone, hold it right there.
Damn it.
I am Inspector Navet of the Paris Serious Crime Squad, and I hereby declare this crime scene open. Closed. Now, nobody move, especially you on the floor. Mo, I want a total lockdown. Nobody in or out. Apart from me, of course.
I needed to get back into the gallery, but a familiar figure was guarding the door. It was Sergeant Mou. Our paths had crossed before. Sergeant Mu, we meet again.
Aha, Madame Collard. An unexpected pleasure.
I was in the gallery at the time of the theft.
I am sorry, but I am under strict orders from Inspector Navet. Nobody in, nobody out. And it is no longer just a theft. It is a murder.
Mon Dieu! That poor man! I witnessed the crime. I've got to get back in there.
I'm sure you can make an official statement in good time.
I saw the thief. I think I can help the investigation.
I am implacable, Madame Collard.
Who is Inspector Navet?
The most promising young investigator on the force. A genius. A man blessed with almost superhuman insight.
He sounds highly perspicacious.
Madame, it is not for us to talk about the inspector's sweaty proclivities. He is about to solve his third case in as many days.
So, what's he got that the other investigators don't have?
Blood spatter. He is the world expert. He reads the entrails of the crime scene like a book.
I chased after the shooter and got a photo of him.
Inspector Navet will be delighted.
You've got to let me into the gallery to show him.
Absolutely not.
So, I cannot go in without Inspector Navet's permission?
No.
And to get Inspector Navet's permission, I need to go in.
Exactement.
Have you ever heard of Kafka, Sergeant Mu?
Madame Collard, I do not see what soccer players have to do with this.
No, he's a... Never mind. Here's my press card. Do you have a statement for the paper?
Yes, madame. Stay away from the crime scene and let the police do their job. And always leave a light on when you go out at night.
I really need to get...
Tut. He is not to be disturbed. He is applying any moment now. I certainly hope so. I am dog-tired and want to go home.
This was madness. Sergeant Mu wasn't going to let me in. Why are you so tired, Sergeant Mu?
I have been working for 3 days with no rest. Navet is a genius in his field, and he assumes that we...
Oh, you... If you'd like to go and get some sleep, I will watch the door for you.
That's very thought... Ha! A cunning attempt to make me a deserter, madame. A gendarme never leaves him.
Well, how about the...
That would do the trick for sure. Unfortunately, my doctor specifically warned me against it after the last...
That incident you mentioned...
I don't want to talk. All I can say is... I am on duty.
Thanks a lot, sir. It was an office. The room was full of strange trinkets. The body was still in there. I had to get back inside. The pissoir was decorative. I wasn't going to leave without comparing notes with Georges.
Madame,
Bonjour, monsieur.
whatever it is you want, we are closed.
Then why are you standing here?
You would not understand, madame.
Try me.
Because I look at you, and I know you are like all the others.
The others?
The pretty women who shop, who gossip, who have their spa days, their almond croissant.
That bad, huh?
And the men with their grooming products and their shiny shoes and their skinny suits who come to my cafe and ask me for lattes, macchiatos, Frappe.
I see your point.
Is this what we fought on the barricades for, madame? Ripped up the paving slabs, bled on the streets.
Isn't it?
No, madame, it is not. We fought for ideas, for philosophy, for freedom, equality, fraternity.
Vive la révolution.
And do you know what drove us on as we fought? What fueled the streets of Paris in that glorious spring? What made our hearts soar?
Cheap wine and free sex?
No, madame, no! It was French Café Noir that inspired us. The simple demi-tasse. The black, sweet taste of freedom.
So that's why you closed?
Yes, madame. I serve only thinkers, philosophers, revolutionaries. And you, madame, with your polite top and your pointy heels, are none of those things.
This is a cafe.
Yes, to the right people.
On any other day, I would have given this guy a straight one to the chin. But there was a chance he could help me get into the gallery. Monsieur.
Life is fleeting, madame. The sand...
Well...
We know not what we want, and yet we are responsible for what we...
There's been a crime.
That is terrible, madame. But
No, but I think you're going...
life begins on the other side of despair. C'est vrai, no?
Well, like... He was pushing me to the point of despair.
During the riots, we battled...
Oh, really?
It was. Except that they made... We made coffee by the liter to fuel the resistance. I've never brewed so much coffee. Of course, our brave heroes spent half their time going for a pee. But with our coffee inside them, they fought the running dogs all night long.
None of this was helping me get...
Au revoir.
Monsieur.
The road to enlightenment. Au revoir.
Salut.
Bonjour, madame.
Sergeant Moo could do with one of those famous coffees. Thanks a lot, Sergeant Moo. You've been so helpful. Hi, George.
Thank God you're safe, Nico.
Inspector Moo is out here. I managed to grab a couple of photos.
Poor Henri is dead.
I know. Why kill him?
I've been trying to find out. Turns out the alarm was tampered with. Looks to me like an inside job.
So, no ordinary robbery?
And no ordinary painting. I need to get into the office and see what... Maybe you can help me out when you get back in?
Ronnie, I'm at the exhibition over...
You're kidding me. That place is a dump. What could possibly have happened to...
A painting's been stolen and the...
What? Okay, speak to anybody who saw what happened. Scope out the place. And call me as soon as you get a story. If you're quick, we can make the evening edition. Bye, Nicole.
This could be the scoop I'd been... The waiter watched the... He is my brother.
La liberté. Madame, you must accept my deepest, my most profound apologies.
Well, of course I...
La Liberté, the great journal of freedom, at the height of the battle, as the tear gas blew and the blood flowed. It was La Liberté which carried the voice of our revolution to the world. I know now that you are not the kind of woman who would ask me for almond croissant. You are a true daughter of France, and I am your humble servant.
Monsieur,
Madame,
could we have a little chat?
anytime.
How about some coffee?
For you, madame, of course. There is only one coffee that I can serve you. Black, strong, and in a tiny cup. One moment. Here is your coffee, madame.
Thank you, monsieur. The coffee was hot. Could you make me a coffee to go?
For a fellow revolutionary. One moment. Here's your takeaway coffee, madame.
Thank you, monsieur. Salut.
Bonjour, madame.
Sergeant Moo, I brought you a coffee.
Coffee? Fantastic. Just what I need. But wait. I must not. My little problem.
I'm sure one little cup of coffee won't hurt.
I'm tempted, madame, but I cannot risk it. I am sorry.
So, this incident, it involved you, some coffee, and your... little problem?
It is a tale of woe, madame.
I'm all ears, Sergeant.
Well, since you seem quite understanding, I shall elaborate.
Please do.
I was in charge of canine security for the President himself. One day, en vacances, he went... I stayed alone with his dog, but I had drunk a coffee to stay up. So I tied the dog to a tree and went for a secret pee-pee. When I came back, the dog was having a liaison dangereuse with the Lady Minister's terrier.
But how did they...
Well, 2 months later, the President's Labrador and I was busted to sergeant. Just after the President...
You are a victim of...
You think so?
But of course. You knew you must not fall asleep at your post.
Well... Yes.
And by drinking that coffee, you made the ultimate sacrifice for our... And now France is calling you again. She is saying, drink, Sergeant Moo, drink!
She is?
She is. Drink or fall asleep at your post.
I suppose it is... drink?
Bravo,
Oh dear. Oh dear. Excuse me, madame. I must use the petit gendarme's room. It has gone straight through me. Could you watch the gallery door for me?
Oh, you can count on me, Sergeant. I distracted Mu. It was now or never.
How did you get past Sergeant Mu? Well, you won't fool me so easily, madame. I shall question you later.
Nico, am I glad to see you.
So, what's the problem?
The inspector's watching me like a hawk. I'll never get in without some sort of distraction.
I'll see what I can do. Georges?
Yeah, Nico.
So what do you need?
I'm pretty sure the robbery was an inside job.
So, what?
Super cop.
What if I create a distraction?
You do that, and I will let you have whatever I find.
That's a deal, Georges. Somehow, I had to get the inspector away from the office door. The bust was... It was a very attractive piece. It was the alarm. If it hadn't been for... Inspector Navet, do you have a moment?
My time is of the essence.
I suppose this is quite a complex case, Inspector.
It is a robbery gone bad. Nothing more?
Surely there's a bit more to it than that.
Please abstain from baseless conjecture. The victim's body paints a simple picture. Consider the impact of the bullet and note the concomitant lack of blood. A casual homicide. Nothing more.
Don't you find it odd that the thief chose that one particular painting?
Life is full of odd things, madame. Fingerless gloves, white dog poo-poo, nasal hair. I prefer to concern myself with murder.
Did you see the alarm was sabotaged?
I have interrogated the crime scene, madame. I am fully aware of the disabled security. I prefer biological evidence to the merely circumstantial. Body parts, blood, important things.
Don't you think the disabled alarm...
The forensic team will be along shortly. Do not bother me.
Why don't you check out the...
Madame, that is not my area of expertise. It is the body which...
But the CCTV footage is evidence.
Correction, madame. It is but an indicator. The only true evidence is bodily fluid. Unless you know something I don't, then please leave me be.
The only evidence Inspector Navet seemed to appreciate involved gore. What do you think about the American, Georges?
He is deeply suspicious.
Thanks, Inspector. If I was going to distract, and the bloodier, the better.